All right, people. So it's Jose, the real life cool Acadian. Well, no, this video in particular is going to be about specifically is directed mostly towards my fellow men. Listen, well, it's like talks if women are here going to watch this too or whatever. But the, these talks about feminism, about saying it's the direct result of feminism. I just seen a video like yes, there are men who are feminists. Like I would say based off how I view women should have the same rights and all that, about should be able to do the same things. That makes me a feminist, whatever the hell. It's not because I don't think they should. That's I simply look at it as besides for the labeling. I look at it like, okay, they're physically able to do it. I don't see why they can't do it. They have hands, they have arms, they have legs. I mean, that's besides for the paraplegics, but I generally don't see why they couldn't do anything that a man does. Simply since even as men, we made tools to make us more effectively in doing things that were a little bit harder to do. So I don't see how a woman wouldn't be able to utilize those same tools, obviously, and do the same thing. Obviously, there is a thing talks about wage gap and all that. Let me just tell you about that. There is some truth to that because there were actual economic books, even economic books that I discovered myself that's no longer taught in the schools, which they was actually getting rid of it. It was the library disposing of this book, and I picked it up because I wanted to learn about economics and all that, which I was learning about economics, but then I also ran across a page or a section in the book talking about how why women need to be paid less than a man. So just based off that, seeing that this was a published economic book for schools to utilize in school, just goes to show right there that maybe yes, there is possible a wage gap that exists, but does it exist everywhere? No, I don't think it exists everywhere because I've been in some businesses where okay, no, everybody was getting paid the same, exactly the same. Nobody's getting paid more than the other for the same job. Well, only in that case, only one person getting paid more than the other was based off seniority, but a woman was not getting paid less than a man. It was just okay. These newcomers are getting paid less than these higher comers because these people who've been here for years because they got the seniority. They get paid like that for years. Or in other cases, maybe this person has full time and you're a part timer, so this person who has full time is getting paid more, or because they're dedicating themselves to the job full time, while the person is only this part time is only dedicating themselves to the job part time. So that's the only times of income inequality that I be seeing there. But as for wage gap, I guess there are has to be some areas where there is that it does exist simply because there was a type of structure being taught in schools when anybody wanted to pursue business. There was these types of academic books that did exist that did explain, try to give some reason, some ridiculous reason as why a woman needs to be paid less, and it was based off like um seeing a woman as not supposed to be doing those things. So yes, areas and does it exist as widespread today? Probably not, but areas where it does exist, it should be combated against and should be resisted. And wherever companies are still trying to put that in practice, that's where it should be stopped. But as well as that being said, as a man myself, I've never seen any reason why to reject feminism because feminism, I mean, women, I see an insecurity in women. And I see why. I know why there's the insecurity, and there's been perpetuated for years for them to feel less of themselves so they can be put in a place of submission, which is not cool. Nobody likes to be in that kind of place. But at the same time, when women are embracing this and just embracing simply just because they don't care, they don't want to not care how they look, they just want to let themselves go, whatever. There is basically women just embracing free choice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against that. I'm not against free choice for anybody. Okay? I'm not talking pro choice. I'm not talking no abortion rights or none of that, even though, yes, a woman should have abortion. But I have my own stances on abortion too. As when it comes to personal, I think there are some cases where a woman would abort the baby without alerting the father, and in a relationship, that's disrespectful. It is very disrespectful. Okay, you're in a team group effort relationship. If you're gonna make a major decision, yeah, okay, yes, the you being pregnant affects you physically, but it doesn't just affect you alone emotionally. It affects the man you're in a relationship with. And for him to find out that you were pregnant with a child later, or probably truth comes out eventually. Say what you want, truth gonna come out eventually. You piling on a bunch of lies, it's just gonna make you feel more insecure, and eventually something's gonna slip. So he'll find out eventually. And by him finding out eventually, only way he won't find out is if you leave him, and that's what I meant. Leave that man. The moment you decide to do that in secret, get an abortion, leave him. Don't be with that man no more because you just did him dirty. Secondly, secondly, as for what I mean talking about when it comes to choice, to me it seems like feminism is really the new age feminism, what they call it today, third wave feminism, whatever the hell. It's really just an embrace of woman wants to have a choice to do whatever the hell she wants as a person. And I don't see how that affects me. Now they do come out demonizing men and a lot of that, but they think men are responsible. But like, it wasn't always just men perpetuating these agendas from the past. It was also women who actually also believed in that agenda as well, perpetuating. And no, they weren't conditioned by a man to believe in it. No, they actually some women. They're like there was a freaking singer woman back in the day. She even stepped up and pushed a farther agenda against feminism, actually, the feminism of that time. And she stepped up even further. Like, no men was really resisting it as hard as she was. And then men who listened to that woman started, going going in like, yeah, she's right, like. So there's even cases where in certain agendas was a woman was also pushing it farther than the man. So it's not always it wasn't always just a man pushing these things. It was sometimes it was a woman stepping up and pushing it a little bit farther than the man. So there, if the man was lagging in there, the woman will step up and do it. So it's not just the fault of men. It is the fault of women too. Women, some women, there are women who had a part to play in all of that as well as the men. So I get why. Yes. So yeah, they are demonizing men, okay, and just simply me understanding that it's not really. I mean, not even just simply me just understanding. It's just I don't see a reason for. There are some men who are feminists who are self-hating men, and yes, sorry if you're a man, you hate yourself for being a man because you say men do this, men do that. Okay, to me, you're a self-hating man. That sounds like a self-hating man. Not even just me. It's the words of a man who hates himself. You hate yourself because of what other men do. What I do has nothing to do with you. Let me tell you, let me say, man. What I do as a man ain't got nothing to do with you. All right, you are a man. You gonna do your own thing. I'm a man. I'm gonna do my own thing. So nothing I do as a man should be making you feel like you don't want to be a man. You're insecure. You're just insecure. Your insecurities are stretching now over to your sex, and likely the men like you who are self-hating men end up being ones who develop gender dysphoria. This makes you want to, this makes you become insecure with your gender, which makes you want to transition. So, and you might transition. Now, some people, they transition and it turns out to be great for them. Okay, they feel okay, they feel better. All right, fine. But then there are some who transition and regret it. Whether that was because a parent was manipulating or because they just simply realized, no, that's not what I really wanted at all. So you could be making a big major decision because only some people who transition, they get on hormone blockers, which affects their reproductive abilities. And you may get into that, regret the choice, and then now you've already done damage. You might have to take something to reach. Now they got places where ways you can kind of restore that, but whether it will be the same, we don't know if it'll be the same. Like what we're using medically is synthetic, but sometimes those permanent. It can be permanent decisions made. You've affected your libido. You know. So listen, but that's getting on to a whole nother topic. I, as a man, do my own thing. I represent myself. I do not represent you or any other men out there. I do not represent you. I do as a man, so I do for me. All right. What you do as a man is what you do for you. So there should be no reason why you should be hating yourself for what other men do. As a man, you should not be hating yourself for what other men do. Don't hate yourself. Stop doing that. It's okay to be feminist, but it's not okay to be a self-hating man who's also a feminist. So you know what I'm saying? It's not okay to be self-hating man who's also a feminist because you're developing an insecurity in yourself, which means you're not solidifying your beliefs. I can tell you now, I am no self-hating man. I'm okay with being a man. I have no need to dislike my gender just because what some other men do. You know what I'm saying? Other men out there slinging it, cheating, being players. I don't care, bro. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care. I don't care. I look at cheating as stupid. Why confine yourself to a relationship if you just want to sleep around? Obviously, the groundwork is out there. You can sleep around. It's fine. Find other people that just want to do that with you. If you're a very attractive dude, I don't see why. You attract women, and sometimes you might still gotta add a little something to attract them even more to get them to drop them pants. But still, ooh, I don't see why not. Like, go out there. Stop confining yourself to a relationship. Women, stop confining yourself to a relationship. If there's anyone, if you don't want to be with one person at the moment, do you? Stop confining yourselves to relationships when you don't really want to be in relationships, people. No, that's not polyamory. Polyamory is when you actually want to love multiple people. There are some polyamorous relationships that actually end up working out. You know what I'm saying? Or they just have open, stuff like that. But still, like some polyamory that it works out like that. It can be people can be polyamorous, but it works out. But this is when they have understanding of themselves and they deal with other people who have understanding of that. And they be like, okay, yeah, boom, and they can actually build actual relationships where they love multiple people, and it's stable, and it's fine. Yeah. And then they're the ones who try doing that, like you're putting yourself in a monogamous relationship, and you don't really want to be committed to anyone, for one, so it wouldn't be polyamory if you don't want to be committed to anyone. On top of that, you just want to get your freak on, have some fun, and go on about your day and do whatever else. Why put yourself in a relationship when that's all you want to do? It don't make sense. Don't do that. Don't do that. So me, personally, I think it don't make no sense. It's stupid. I look at it as ridiculous. Why would you do that if this what the brain, the math ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying? The math ain't mathing, basically. So it's like I look at him like stupid. So like, yeah, that's dumb. It's dumb. Really dumb. Now some, it's like, okay, they've been into that, but now they actually do want to settle down. But it's kind of, it's hard for them to kind of jump out of that into just settling down. You got to give them. I believe anybody who wants to, they've been messing around, sleeping, like not messing around, but you've been sleeping around, getting your freak out, basically, with other people, like carefree. You need time. You need at least 3 years before you can give yourself time to settle down into I just want to settle down with one person. Like you need to give yourself at least 3 years into that train of thought. Just actually commit to it. When you can commit to that thought process, and what I mean by commit to it, I don't mean find a person and stay with, no. Commit to it by finding other things, other passions within those 3 years to turn your mind away from that. I just want to get my freak on and get my partner. No, find other passions to turn your mind away from that and dedicate yourself. When you start busying yourself, like, damn, I gotta put this on, dude. You find yourself getting more and more comfortable with it. Just focus on this and focus on that. Eventually, your brain's gonna be like, okay, I don't want to do all these other people. Like, if I want to find someone, I need to find someone who's gonna understand me. Boom. Then you get yourself into that mindset of, okay, you want one person that you can settle down with, who understands you and that you can love, and has a little bit of freaky qualities. Cause hey, if you're a freaky person, like, that freaky side don't go away. All right, it's part of your characteristic. You like to get freaked on, but you've discovered these other passions and other interests and other motivations that one makes it where, okay, I need people in my life. I need a person. If you're a person who creates romantic relationships like that, basically you want people in your life, a person in your life who's gonna understand that about you. You know what I'm saying? And embrace that. That way you can love that person and just be with that person. Simple done deal. Same time. So there's no like I never really understood why but like for the men who hate feminism, I don't understand, guys. I don't. As a man who doesn't see any real problems with feminism besides, I mean, they say it probably makes women more insecure, makes them feel more bad. But I'm like, nah. I mean, the insecurity's always kind of been there, and there's reasons why it's always been there. It's not because of feminism. That's all I can say. But it's there's nothing. It's like you're preaching one ideal against the other, like basically gender roles. Let's go into that. Gender roles. Women's supposed to do this, men's supposed to do that. Nonsense, people. Nonsense. The only reason why that was even created in the first place was because back in the day, men more so excelled at being independent because they did not need assistance. Because we simply weren't burdened with the task of becoming pregnant. All right, exactly. It's simply just that we weren't burdened with. Women needed assistance because when they become pregnant, it leeches the baby's kind of leeching the life away from them a bit. You know what I'm saying? And so in some cases, the baby's completely leeching the life away from them, away from the woman. So women, they get weak, they get tired from that. Yeah, they were able to hunt and gather just like other men back in the day were able to as well. But when they became pregnant, they needed extra assistance. Okay, like, okay, they gonna need some protection because they're dealing with the baby, and now, all right, if a freaking lion comes out of nowhere about to eat her, that's your kin. Your kin about to go. If she gets killed, the kin die too. You know what I'm saying? So she needed some protection. She needed assistance and protection because she can't effectively fight being pregnant, and she can't effectively hunt being pregnant either. Trying to chase that animal, she might get drained, very drained, tired out. Now she got to take a break for a minute. Now the animal getting away. Who got to step up, man? Get your hands out there, kill the animal so we can eat, bro. Our life depends on it, literally. So during tribal hunter gatherer times, that's what it was like. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, yo, you see I'm pregnant here, go. Baby, I'm being an obstacle right now. Go, get the food. We need it. We're going to starve if we don't. That's how that happened. Later on, people started incorporating that with belief. And incorporating just that physical difference right there, the physical thing. We started incorporating that with belief and developed these systems where at first it was on level playing fields, but then men started seeing themselves there was a group, cultural groups with men started seeing themselves as above the woman simply just because of that. And this is where we are today. And this affects the psychology of not just women but men as well. So some men who see themselves as matching up to their standards, they become insecure. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because of feminism. Feminism is not because of that. It's because men who don't see themselves as matching up to the male standard that was perpetuated for so many years through belief, they felt like they weren't a man. They felt like they weren't a man. And not to add to that, not because they felt like it. There would be people who bullied them, like, yeah, you ain't like me, you ain't like alpha male, whatever dumb shit like that. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse in these videos, but like, yeah, it's hard to try to process the ridiculousness of certain beliefs. It's like, I mean, humans are ridiculous. We just are, but like, it's just hard to like process it without like my reasoning kicking in and be like, this is ridiculous. Like, what? But still, anyway, but so it's like, yeah, there are men who felt like they couldn't match up to that smell standard. They felt, less of a man. So this is what makes them feel insecure about being men, which makes them develop gender dysphoria. And then bam, now they end up wanting to be a woman instead of a man. So it's like stuff like that. And then they get bullied by other men who, see them as inferior males. So mm, there you go. It's inferior males. So yeah, and they transition thinking that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be a woman, and that's not the case either. You know, so that's not the case either. But like, hey, they just think that. So what? But still, we see how it ends up in there, and they end up in that mindset. But people blame feminism, but it's not because of feminism. Man. As the dislike of gender roles is really just simply a rational competition. But they say feminism is responsible, not really, because feminism now has took on roles of women empowerment and all that. I could say it's time. Women don't need to be empowered. Some women are powerful, just powerful women, influential women, inspirational women. It's just that they feel like some of them feel like they need to dial down because they're not being woman enough. They're being too assertive or whatever. No, it's natural for you as a woman. You can be assertive. Assertiveness is not something that's preserved to one sex. It's preserved. Every sex has that quality in their brain. You have those same hormones, and when they enter here, you will respond in that way. You have testosterone as a woman. You have a man as a man. You have estrogen in there. All right, it's not y'all. Yeah, like still, it's not preserved to just one sex. All right, y'all have it. It's in there. So you have the same mental qualities as each other. It's not because you're less than what you are. No, you just have this. You've always had it's just some embrace those characteristics and some don't. Some embrace those characteristics a little bit more, some don't. So women have assertiveness. Women have capability of doing the same jobs as men. They do. All right. You can go on the biological difference. Biological difference is what? Because they don't have wider bone. Well, guess where they do have wider bone? Down in their hips. So guess what? Yeah, you can knock a woman out with your punch all you want. She strengthened that leg up and fly near and kick you dead in your face. You're done, bro. Because if her legs, she trained her legs to be that powerful, they will be that powerful. Okay. And as men, see, as we know, we dominate in this area. We got to learn to train that area. Okay. Because this area is not that strong. This one area don't. But that's why a lot of men have chicken legs when they do bodybuilding. They have chicken legs because simply we have more wider bone structure up here, so more muscle will develop up here. But down here, no, it won't develop. But women have more bone structure down there, so that's why women they can develop strong behind legs. Their muscles and their legs be looking nice. But up here, bony, but still, that's just it. That's the only biological difference. And another biological difference is one is able to give birth to the baby while the other one just has the sac to just, shoot the seed out. And that's it. That's the other biological difference. I guess one has more estrogen than the other because I think estrogen plays a part in yes, you need more estrogen because it plays a part in your reproductive cycles. So, it helps you produce a baby a little bit more effectively than a men than testosterone would. But you still have testosterone. It's just that you have more estrogen because you need more estrogen for the baby. For the baby. So so that's the only reason why they have more estrogen. Men have more testosterone because simply we don't produce babies. We don't give birth. So we don't need that much estrogen. So we get more testosterone. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. We get more testosterone that allows us to do more physical things. You know. So I think testosterone helps with that. It helps with other things. It helps with the sperm some kind of way. But yeah, testosterone helps with the sperm too. So we have more testosterone because we have to do with sperm. It's just biology. We just boom. It just biology is like, okay, this kind of human, this class of humans, this way it wasn't made that way. It's just that's how evolution happened for our species. We have developed from a species that where it was already separate, like to create one another. It was already a separate thing between the two. So that's how they had to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they had to do it. We evolved from them. Those species evolved into other species over time and traveled to our species, okay? The human species. So you can argue biological difference all you want, that still doesn't matter. There's no what place that a man should be or a woman should be in life. It's just simply it, it's just a matter of constructed systems and people thinking it had to be that way, but nothing ever had to be the way it was. Okay, it was it just took someone to decide it that way, and that's how it happened. But nothing ever had to just be this is how it has to be. No, it was never that way. It never was. So men, stop feeling insecure because feminism exists. I think y'all being stopped and word because people are praising the feminists. No, it's not true. It is not true at all. It is women just simply are trying to overcome insecurity, embrace their freedom of choice, and it's already kind of hard for them mentally because they're trying to uncondition themselves from feeling like they're less of a woman because of those things. You know, and that's all really is. That's why I really have no faith. But like, there are some women who hate men out there, and I don't. I can tell you as a man, I simply don't care. I have no problem being a man. You can hate me all you want. I'm gonna be a man at the end of the day. Screw you if you hate me because of my own gender. That's discrimination, gender discrimination. And, you shouldn't hate me as a man because what did I ever do to you? I never perpetuated these systems. I never did it. I just got it. I'm just living in it just like you. So hating me because of that, they hate men because like men horny or some crap. Well, men have hormones. Okay, some men are more hornier than other men. So yeah, you're gonna come in contact with some men now. Others, what they call the beta male, feels like they have to manipulate to get what they want. Like just like how the alpha male gets what they want. No, it's not really the case. Simply just being authentic. You can actually attract all types of fun people. Being true to yourself and embracing who you are now, you're not going to attract everybody, but that's true. What man has fucked every woman in this world? None. Okay? Just be real. No, none has ever done that. Never done anything with every woman in this world. Okay? Like, there was never a time where a man has done every woman in this world. Okay? So you don't need to be doing every woman. That's an inaccomplishable goal. Okay? You cannot accomplish that. That's impossible. All right? You would literally have to rig things to a level where you can even make that possible. And that's if you don't die before you can even finish. Sheesh. So no, not gonna be able to do every woman out there. Yes, they can be hot, beautiful, they want, but if y'all ain't lining mentally to attract one another, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So, I think that's pretty much all. I'm at my 20-minute mark, about to go on 30. So, hopefully, guys, y'all come out of this blaming feminism for a lot of things. And feminism is only responsible for a few things that really are not bad necessarily. But yeah, nothing bad really. But still, yeah, just hopefully y'all cover. All right, y'all. Peace.